Hey you guys, it's your girl T. This is crazy story, and I had to report on this because y'all know I lived in Charlotte for like 10 years. I've been to CIAA several times. So there's a Charlotte woman named Felicia Cunningham. So anyways, it was CIAA weekend, and her sister, they decided to get a table to go see Drake for $1,600. And it was at this club. And when they got there, it ended up being a strip club. Supposedly she didn't know that beforehand. And she said that, some issues ensued, and she basically got beat up by a bunch of bouncers. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys a news clip. I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
11 o'clock, a group of women in Charlotte for the CIAA say they paid top dollar for a party, but became victims of a club beatdown.
I remember being drug out into a hallway and the door shut.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Molly Grantham.
I'm Paul Cameron. Now, this happened inside this club in West Charlotte. Women say they were just wanted to see the rapper Drake, and they paid more than $1,000 to get in, but got much more than they bargained for. WBTV's Brigitte Mack is live tonight, so Brigitte, pick up the story from there.
You know, Paul, this is just one of those terrible stories. This is the police report that Felicia Cunningham filed after that physical assault. And even though she, her sister, and her cousin spent more than $1,600, they say it's not about getting their money back, but about making sure this doesn't happen to someone else.
I slammed my head against the wall. I've never had anybody do that to me. There were 5 men.
Felicia Cunningham is still in shock over the beating she says she got at the hands of private security inside the Daisy Dukes Gentlemen's Club Saturday night.
We came here to see Drake, and that's not what we saw.
The first red flag, she says, not knowing it was a strip club until they got there. Online, the venue was called Cameo, and with $1,600 spent on a VIP table, they didn't want to leave.
So our plan was, once we see Drake, we leave.
Other problems followed. Someone stole Felicia's purse, and she says they openly witnessed strippers performing sexual acts.
We're actually descended on in the VIP by strippers, and they're becoming very aggressive. We want to sit down here.
That's when her sister called security. But when the men arrived, they threw them out and then beat Felicia.
Pulling my hair. My arms have bruises all the way down my arm. My ribs are bruised.
Once outside, they told police what happened, but say officers told them they couldn't go inside because of the club's private security. The next day, they contacted the club's owner, who offered to help.
Even though Daisy Dukes is not responsible, we don't have anything to do with it, we're going to help you.
But Felicia says there's been no help and wants others to learn from her experience.
If it's a strip club, it's a strip club. Do your homework. Don't be naive.
That is so important tonight. I think what's key to point out here is that Felicia and her sister were not from here. They were from Raleigh, so they didn't know the area. They didn't know that venue was a strip club. And anytime you are going to a big event or booking something online, you have to do your research. I think that's one of the key lessons here. Paul?
All right, Brigitte, live tonight. Now, we called the club several times today, but could not get anyone to pick up the phone.
So I just think the whole story is kind of crazy. To me, the story is not fluid. There's just too many holes in her story. Now, I'm not saying that this woman deserves to get beat up. I'm not saying that she deserves to get jumped. But what I'm saying is that you have to use some common sense. Regardless if they was coming from Raleigh or if they was coming from South Charlotte, if I'm spending $1,600 of my hard-earned money, I'm going to know the ins and outs of everything. I'm going to do my research. And I don't believe that she didn't know that it was a gentleman's club. And when she first pulled up and found out that it was a strip club, she should have asked for her money back if she was going to be that offended. When you go to a strip club, you're going to see chicks dancing, taking off their clothes, and doing whatever. I just kind of find it funny that she went to a strip club, she was in this VIP section, and the strippers came and they supposedly stole her purse and they were performing sex acts in front of her. Like, the whole story just makes no sense. When her purse first got stolen, why wasn't the police called? Why didn't she get up and go to the bouncer and say, hey, my purse is stolen, what's going on here? It seemed like she didn't really trip until the strippers came to her. Like, the whole story just makes no sense to me. Like, I've been to strip clubs, and usually they're not going to come to you unless you call them over. And if you're paying $1,600 for a table, best believe they're supposed to treat you with respect. They're supposed to bring them bottles, ice, everything else. They're supposed to cater to you. I done had tables for less than that, and I've been catered to hand and foot. So if I'm spending $1,600, I don't want no strippers in my vicinity, they're not going to bring any strippers over there. So her whole story just does not make any sense to me. But what I find more disturbing than her getting beat up is the fact that you would pay $1,600 for a table to go see Drake. Like, come on now. I mean, Drake is an okay rapper. Drake isn't bad, you know what I'm saying? Even though he's with Young Money, he's not the world's worst rapper. But I would never pay $1,600 to see Drake or anybody. I would never take $1,600 of my hard-earned money and spend that towards a table at some ratchet-ass strip club. I'm sorry, for $1,600, her and her sister could have got some round-trip plane tickets to go to the Bahamas, go to Vegas, go to the Caribbeans, you know, go on a cruise, do something. Why would you take that money to go see Drake at a strip club? You know, so like I said, the whole situation, I don't think it's right that she got beat up, but her story is not making any sense to me. You know, when I'm hearing from other people who were there at the club that night, they said that they started a lot of stuff. They were being really nasty and belligerent to the strippers. They're making a lot of rude comments. So I'm not saying that this is what that woman did, but something just don't sound right with her story. Bouncers are just not going to come up and put their hands on you if you're sitting there being mature and handling your business. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Y'all go ahead. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about the story. Do you guys believe what she's saying? Do you believe that these strippers just came to her VIP table and just started showing out and performing sex acts? Do you believe that these bouncers just beat her up for no reason and that, you know, she didn't do anything wrong at all and she was just misinformed? I just feel like there's more to the story and she's trying to play it up for the cameras, you know, but go ahead, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. All right. Deuces.